Hello, everybody. Welcome to Music 104. This is spring 2022, and I am your professor, Shane Cadman. So just to start off, I am okay if you call me Shane when we communicate in Canvas, and you don't need to call me Professor Cadman necessarily, or Mr. Cadman, which is my dad, or Dr. Cadman, because I don't have a doctorate, so that would be unethical. But I want to welcome you to the class. You're going to get used to these videos because you're going to have a video every week. In fact, part of the assignments are connected to videos. But this is just a welcome video. I want to set up the expectations of the class. I have found over the years that I've been doing this, which is not a long time, but quite a while. In fact, it's pre-pandemic. So I was teaching online before the whole pandemic started, and so when it hit, I was good. I was ready to roll. Speaking of the pandemic, can you believe we're still in it? It's crazy. It's hard to believe that this is still going on. And so let me start off by saying that I hope you're doing okay. I hope that you are managing well and trying to roll through this and make the best of it. And I think that that's really kind of where we need to be now. It's been such a roller coaster that we need to be optimistic and look forward to good things. I know that they're coming. It just seems like we keep it's like two steps forward, one step back, right? Anyways, so hope you're all okay. Glad that you're here. Hope you're all watching this. It's really important that you watch all the videos. You're going to have a video assignment every week, and there's going to be questions in those, and there's not in this one. But I need to, to set up the context of the class. Normally, this is the stuff we would go over in class at the start of the class. So I do want to say a few things. It's going to be a little bit of a video, maybe 10, 15 minutes long. But it's important that you make it through to the end because there's all sorts of valuable, important stuff in it. First of all, I want to start off by saying that this is a synchronous class. So you've all probably been taking classes online, unless maybe some of you are just getting started. But I mean, even unless you're coming out of high school, you've probably dealt with the Zoom world and online education and all that sort of stuff. But this is asynchronous, which means that we don't have a regular meeting time. So, excuse me, the way that this class goes is that, and I have a rhythm to it. And the rhythm really doesn't vary, and there will be no surprises for you, and that's a good thing, but it's important that you get used to the rhythm of the class. So it's all based on weekly modules. You'll have a couple of different modules, and you need to go through them sequentially. In fact, I'll give you a little heads up right now that you have to actually get through certain modules before they unlock the next modules for the week. And there are deadlines on assignments. So it's important that you do that. So I'll get to those things. So this is asynchronous. So you can do this work whenever you want. Just keep track of the deadline so that you can move in the proper sequence. I do have all sorts of helpful pages in there on how to tackle classes like this. I have information on how to learn. I have pages on nostalgia, things that I really want you to take in. Learning is really important to me. That's why you're here. And so for so many students over the last few decades or whatever, it's really about teaching to test. And I got to get the good grade because I got to get the piece of paper at the end. And as a guy who's walked the planet for almost 57 years, I can tell you that that's not really that important. What's important is what you learn in the classes that you're taking. And the beauty of a class like this is that there is so much to learn that is so appropriate and relevant today. So first of all, for any of you that don't like history classes, you're in one. So you may not have thought about it that way, but even though it's in the title of it, but this is a history class. But it ties everything to the music. But music is a product of its environment. It's a product of its time. So we can't talk about the music without talking about what was going on in the world. And so you're going to see some themes that we're dealing with today that this isn't the first time that they've showed up. So it's going to be great. So all of that. The real key to success in a class like this is finding the rhythm that works for you. Are you a morning person, afternoon person, evening person? When can you get that concentrated amount of time? And it's important that you spend the time. They say that you should spend 5 to 10 hours per module going through the materials and the textbook. And I've sent out welcome videos, and hopefully you've all gotten those. But again, I want to remind you that the book is really important to this class. So you got to set up your time right so that you can be successful. And so you need to figure that out. And if time management isn't a big thing to you, it's time to make it one. And the good thing is that I would have to say that when it comes to being a successful person, an adult out in the world, time management is one of the most important skills or qualities that you have. So it's important that you understand how to manage your time well and balance your time well and all that kind of stuff. So, book. Yes. So there's a book, Rock Music Styles by Katherine Charlton, 8th edition. This is the book. The book is required. I don't require it because I'm a jerk and I want you to spend a bunch of money. I require it because it helps provide the content and context for all of the materials. The modules support what you're learning in the book. So it's really this holistic thing. It's not a duplication of what you're learning in the book. So I'm going to draw from materials in the modules, but a lot of it's going to come from the book. I have had students try to do this without the book. Don't do that. I mean, I hate like grading assignments low and all of that because people just aren't doing the work. Now, the good news is you can rent the book, and I recommend that. Rent the ebook, and then you're not spending a whole lot of money. I think it's important that there's a little bit of skin in the game, but I do keep it. There are affordable options out there. So this is really required. And if you have the book, this class is going to be, I'm reluctant to say it's going to be pretty easy. It's definitely going to help you on the quizzes and on the tests and all of that. And it's certainly going to inform your other assignments. Because when I ask you with the different assignments, about certain things, a lot of that, what I'm looking for comes from here. I do also want to just throw another book to you. This is not a required book. It's called the Pop, Rock, and Soul Reader. And it's a great book. It's just a collection of all sorts of articles, interviews, and it's a really great supplement to the text and to the material. You can see behind me there are a boatload of books, and I've had students that will reach out to me and say they want to know what the books are. So in one of the modules, there's sort of a miscellaneous module at the end. There is a thing that says like Shane's reading list or something like that. And so you can find all those books. Basically, whenever I get new ones, I put them in there. Right now, I'm reading a really great biography on Fats Domino. But whenever I get a new book, I add it to the list and I throw it in there. So just in case you want to dig a little bit deeper. So yeah, you can see all the books behind me and tapes and other things in there right here. CDs, remember those? Yep, I still have them because I'm old. I still have what y'all call vinyl. I used to have about 1,000, but I've pared it down to about 250 or 300, something like that. Just ones that are meaningful to me that I haven't replaced. But I makes me sick. I sold off most of them back when they were worth nothing. I probably could have retired now with all that I sold off. But I digress. Okay, so that's the reading. You're going to learn about rock history going back into the 1800s. So historical things are going to be relevant. If you don't remember, the dates of things like the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Depression, all of those things, those are going to pop up. It's good to refresh yourself there. So we're going to cover from really the early formations of rock music, rhythm and blues music, pop music, going back to the 1800s. So we're going to have to, deal a bit with slavery and the slave trade, because that is an essential part of this kind of music. We wouldn't have the rock music that we have if it wasn't for that. So you're going to be learning about a lot of that. And I'm not going to go over everything you're going to learn about, but I do want to let you know a couple of things. One, we're only going to go till around really like mid-'80s. I really try to get to MTV, the impact of MTV. And we basically run out of time. In a perfect world, I would love to make this a 2-semester class. So the first semester takes us to like 1970 and the second goes 70 to present. We just don't have that kind of time. Also, I feel like by the time you start getting to the late 80s, early 90s, bands like Chili Peppers and Nirvana and other people like that, you all know who they are. I don't really need to talk a whole lot about them. And so that's really where it ends. So just be aware of that. So the assignments that are going to come up, there's a few that you're going to have every week. Again, no surprises. Every week, you're going to have a quiz on the materials for that module, and you're going to have to go through it. Now, every week we'll start off with a welcome to the week video. So it'll be, welcome to week 1. So depending on when you're watching this, you've already seen it, or you're about to see it, or you're going to see it soon, tomorrow, whatever. And in that video are embedded questions that are about what I'm saying. So in other words, I'll talk about something and then all of a sudden, bing, this question pops up that you have to answer. Now, it might not be right after. So at the end of the video, you might get a question that says, hey, early in the video, I said such and such, or which of the following is the thing that I said? So a lot of those questions are really just kind of measuring, are you watching the videos? Because the videos are important. I'm setting the context for the class. I'm going to let you know, hey, this is what you're going to learn about. These are the important things to focus on, to think about, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have one of those every week, and they are assignments. I used to handle them different, but the last year or so they are actually specifically assignments. So you're going to have that. You're going to have a class discussion each week based on a topic from the material. So here's the way I suggest you take the rhythm of the class. Monday morning, as early as you can, they open at 8 o'clock. Modules go from 8 a.m. on Mondays to 11:59 p.m. on Sunday nights. And so there's a little bit of fluidity and flexibility, but there's a structure. So the welcome videos open at 8 o'clock. You can't move into the materials till you've gone through the welcome video. So as soon as you are able, Monday morning, Monday night, whatever, I really recommend Monday or Tuesday, watch that video, do that assignment, and then it will unlock the module with all of the materials that go along with the class, the learning materials. Then that will unlock on 8 a.m. On Tuesdays, the assignments module will lock. And there's prerequisites set up. So you've got to get through certain things before other things will open. And I've had students reaching out to me, freaking out because they're like, I can't do the assignments. Like, yeah, because you haven't done the work before it. So this is no surprise. And it'll be the same every week. So get the hang of that rhythm. Then your discussions, it's based on the material that you're learning, and you will be given a topic. And your initial discussion replies are always due on Thursdays by noon, I think is how I do it. And the video, by the way, or maybe it's Thursdays at the end of the day. The videos are always due by, the welcome videos are due by Thursday at noon. And then it locks. And the reason is I'm trying to keep you on time. So I'm helping your time management. Right? I'm helping you to motivate you to do that. If it locks, you can't move on. So get that thing done as early as possible. Read the materials, and by Thursday at the end of the day, you need to write your answer, your reply to the discussion. You won't know what other people are doing. It's set up so that you can't see them. And then you write your post, and then and then that'll be in there. And usually with those, I break the class into smaller groups, either into thirds or fourths, something like that. So so that it'll be a smaller, sort of more manageable group, and you to get to engage a little bit. Really take the time to be thoughtful, but understand they're based on the materials that you're learning about. Sometimes almost always though, I will tie it in also to something current. You will also have a reflection observation. Those are weighted heavier than the discussions. That's a new adjustment because they're really important to me that you're getting into the material and you're thinking about it. Now, here's something else that I want to say that that is really important. Some people sort of feel like if they do the minimum amount of work, they should get an A. That's not the case. It should never be the case. If you do the minimum amount of work, like the acceptable minimum amount of work, that is a C. That is an average. You did an average job. You do less, you get a D or an F or nothing, right? To earn a B or an A, you have to put in extra work. So when I say there's a 250 word minimum, that's the minimum. So if you want to get a C on it, you're thinking about those 250 words. If you want to get a B or an A, you need to put some work in. Now, can you still get a B or an A at 250 words? It's possible. If you really write well, and please take the time to write well. Proofread. I know a lot of you do these on your phones, but sometimes the grammar and the spelling and all of that, it just gets in the way. proofread. My suggestion when you do these assignments, write them in, say, Word or a text file or whatever, Notepad, whatever, write them elsewhere. My suggestion really is to save them as you go, but write them and then copy and paste it in and make sure that the grammar's cleared up, that it says what you want it to say, because there's no chance to do it again. Okay? So those are your reflection observations. And then with the discussions, you're going to have to reply meaningfully to 2 other people's posts. And by meaningful, I don't want you to say, yeah, that was really great. I totally agree. Good job. Maybe challenge them. Maybe say, hey, that's really cool, but I think it's this versus that, in a nice, respectful way. Or say, hey, this is really cool. If you like these guys, you may like these bands too. Or these artists or whatever. So really put some thought, put some effort. I know it's a challenging one, but I believe in you. You can do it. And then you have those replies are due Sunday night. Your quizzes are due Sunday night. Your reflection observation is due Sunday night. Okay. You also are going to have, I don't do like a midterm final. I do 3 tests. So they're divided by thirds. That's based upon your quizzes. And then there's also some listening components. So speaking of that, and this is all, you'll run through all of this in the materials, but I just want to get it out there this way too. You'll need to be connecting to Spotify. Okay. If you don't have a Spotify account, they're free. You can get it. I recommend paying for it because it pays the artist better. Now, I understand all the current controversy going on with all of that kind of stuff, but right now it's the tool that does best for what we need. And again, you can use it for free, so do with that what you will. Okay, so with that music, my recommendation when you're going through your stuff earlier in the week, click the playlist. I build a playlist for every week. Listen to it so that you can get the music in your head. I think that some students try to do all the work but never listen to the music. And then you're really not informed, because sometimes I'm asking you about what you're hearing. And so if you're not hearing it, then how do you answer it, right? How do you go and do that? So you have that. The tests will open up. You'll see the modules coming. I will give you heads up when things are coming up. And just so that you know, I give your welcome videos on Monday, and on Thursdays, I will send out a little reminder on Thursday mornings. Hey, everybody, just so you know, you got your, this is due, these are coming up, whatever. I do that because I'm a nice guy. I want you to keep on time. I want you to do a great job in the class, okay? And I'm trying to think of the other things that I need to know. You'll see how the grading works. You'll see all of that when you get in here, and the points and everything. I think it's a pretty straightforward class. I don't think it's a hard class, but you do have to put work in. I don't know how many of you go on to Rate My Professor to look at your professors first. I know my kids do, and all of that. And you'll see it's mine's up and down. It's like, especially lately. And it's just because, even though I tell everybody what to do, some people don't want to do the work. They're angry, they're frustrated, whatever. And then they go rip on me. And it's like, what can I do? I'm not gonna get in a battle with that. But I want you to be successful. I want you to learn this is an amazing class. I mean, how many classes do you get to listen to music as part of the class? And it's going to make connections to what you're hearing nowadays. You're going to start to put all these puzzle pieces together. So, take the time to learn, not just this class, any classes that you're taking. It's really about what you learn in a class and what you carry forward. Okay? I know that rambled a little bit. I know it went a little longer than I wanted it to, which isn't uncommon for me. But I'm here to help. If you need to reach out, I'm on Canvas. Message me in Canvas. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me if you have questions. One other thing. So Monday night, the 7th, I'll do a little, I call it open house, from 7 to 8, I think it is. And it is, it's basically just a chance. It's not required. It's not a synchronous thing. But if you want to pop in, say hi. If there's anything that you're unclear on, you can ask me then. So you can, review the material, see what's going on. One other thing, you'll need to do a concert report this semester. You'll see that down the line, and that will be, because things are the way that they are right now, it'll be watching a video on YouTube, a full concert on on video and then writing about it. And you'll see all the instructions for that. So I don't want to keep going on. I know this is long, but I'm excited about this semester. Hopefully you can tell that. I love teaching this class. I love the material. There's always new things to bring into it. There's always stuff happening in the world that relates to all of this. And so welcome. I'm glad that you're here, and we will talk soon.